Hi, hi, hi. This is Natasha from Dressing Roommate, and I'm really excited to speak with the founder and the very, very dynamic woman behind Oso Paper. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here and to be talking to you.
Yes, yeah. So tell me, tell my Dressing Roommate fans and audience, first who are you and your story, and then what is Oso Paper?
Okay, well, I'm Danielle, and I'm the creator of Oso Paper. Actually, we're not even a year old yet. We started last year on November 15th. But before that, I was in the Coast Guard, so I was a veteran. I am a veteran. I was in the Coast Guard for 5 years. I got out. I just kind of didn't. I couldn't really find my place, like where I fit. So I went and worked for the government, and that just didn't feel right. I went to nursing school. That didn't feel right. And one day I was just like walking through, like the stationery store, and I would go there all the time and just like look at stuff. And it never really hit me, but I was always there, and I always felt great going there. And I ended up going on YouTube, I think, and I ended up making a YouTube video, and
Hmm.
just kind of out of the blue, I left it. I walked away from it, and then I started getting all these emails about asking me questions about a YouTube video, and I was like, what are people talking about? Because it was like 3 years later, and I was like, okay, let me go check this out. So even though the YouTube kind of thing was not the same as the stationary thing, it kind of got me thinking, wow, there's this whole like world online where I could be doing something else, and that kind of feels good. I really like that, connecting with lots of different people. So then I went from there and I started a blog, and a little bit of time went by and I started getting into design and really coming into like the design part of it. And I guess I caught the eye of the people at Kohl's, and I did a design project for them, and that made me realize, like, even though I didn't go to school for design or anything like that, that I could do this. Like, I could actually bring this thing full circle, instead of just walking the aisles of the stationery store and kind of like dreaming about, oh, I wish I had something like this, that was my own. I
Yeah.
finally was there. Like, I was like, oh my God, this company who, I didn't have to have some degree in this.
Hmm.
I can do this. Like, it kind of, all those things, kind of led me down that path to get there. And so I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just take the plunge, and I'm going to do it. And so I started Osa Paper, like I said, last year. This was from, like, this whole process started in like 2009. So
Hmm.
like, it was a long time coming to like kind of build my confidence into that I could do something other than what I guess the normal traditional thing that everybody else expected me to be doing. And
Hmm.
so I started it, and it's been amazing. It took off. We've kind of undergone a few changes, but it's been really great, and that's kind of what led me to here.
Hmm.
It's kind of a long way around. So I'm kind of known for not always taking the easy road. I kind of like to go take the scenic route to
I
get
love
to
that
stuff.
though. Yeah.
So
I I love that because I think so many people will refuse to go down different paths because of that fear of like, well, I started down this path. How could I switch it up? Well, yeah, you can switch it up. I love that you were a vet and then you pursued nursing and then design, right? So that meant does that were you like a fan of art as a young girl, but you didn't really know what to do with that and then it kind of came back into fruition later on in life then?
yeah, so my dad is an artist. Like,
Mm.
actually went to school for art. Like, I remember him drawing and all of those things. So like, art has always been like a part of my life. I, however, have no artistic ability such as like drawing. I can't draw to save my life.
Mm.
But I am creative, and I used to write like stories, and I remember designing clothes out of like paper bags, and so
Wow.
I've always been like creative. It just,
Yeah.
so it's always been there. But now I actually get to let it all out. So even though I don't illustrate, I can illustrate with my words, and get that
Mhm.
across to my illustrators
Gotcha.
to bring those images to life.
Great.
So,
Okay. And what are some of the inspirations for, yeah, like putting out the beautiful stickers that you make?
well, okay, so when Osa Paper started, I originally was going to make notepads.
Mm,
So yeah, it was going to be like a note, like all these different types of notepads.
okay.
And I, and so yeah, so we kind of, so things like it kind of changed. I did a few, and then I was like, I don't think, you got to be able to pivot and kind of like look at stuff and say, okay, wait, maybe we need to try something a little different. And
Yep.
I started, I went into like a few groups on Facebook, like about planners and things like that. And I was like, wow, there's this whole
Mhm.
world of planners and these stickers and all this stuff. And so I started going on Etsy and Pinterest and Instagram and everything. And I kept seeing the same thing,
Mhm.
that there's this, there's a, I don't want to, I'm trying to see how I can put it. There's a look, right? Kept seeing
Mhm.
the same look. And what I noticed, because whenever I do anything, I always notice what's missing. Like, what don't
Mhm.
I see? So when I look at things, I'm like, what am I not seeing here? And I didn't see the representation of women of color. And I said,
Mhm.
there's this whole world, and I'm knowing that we like these things too, like we
Mhm.
like doing these things too. Why are we not represented here?
Mm.
And then I would go into, like just regular stores and like the kind of the craft stores, and I'd look at stuff and I'd be like, we're not represented. Like, we're just not anywhere. It's like we don't do these things. And I'm like, I'm in the craft
Wow.
store all the time,
Yeah.
but why don't I see me here?
Mm.
And so I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And
Mhm.
I had to and then, I sat down and I was like, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to bring the color, like the diversity, the color, and I'm not going to just have one skin tone. I'm going to have
Mhm.
multiple skin tones. I want to celebrate all of us,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
multiple skin tones and hair types, and we just released, different body types. I want to celebrate everybody. I want everyone to feel seen, you know. And
Mhm.
so then it just kind of started down that road, and we went through, like, first it was, I had a set of stickers that I was like, okay, I like these, and I kept like kind of adjusting them until we got to where we're at right now.
Mhm.
And these are like I think are like our signature, um, like look, and I
Mm.
absolutely love them, So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Absolutely. Great. So I absolutely love that you have stickers of different skin colors, because I do agree with you. Even when we do have a representation of Black women, you don't always see all skin tones. And I think a big part of feeling beautiful is seeing yourself. And especially when you show women, we all look different, regardless of if we're a part of the same race or not. So I definitely
Right.
thank you for that. And my curly hair definitely thanks you for representing the curly hair queens in your collections, because yeah,
Of
like even
course.
that, like not everyone has permed hair, not everyone has straight hair. And for me, like I love your stickers in my journals because I can look at them and exactly like what you said, like I can see me in the curly hair, I can see me with the similar skin color. And now I'd love to hear about the curvy collection. Now, what prompted that design?
Well, I'm always listening. That's one of
Mhm.
the things. Like, I think that I'm a really good listener, and uh, even as a kid, like I was like a people watcher, so I could
Mm.
pick up on things because I could be able to be silent and just watch and listen. And
Mhm.
so after I created the first set of stickers, I kept paying attention just to the conversations I was seeing, and people were like, but there's so many like stick figure stickers because it's like these
Mm.
fashion type stickers, and so what they're coming from, I'm assuming, is probably like art school sketches. That's kind of what those come out of, and
Mm-hmm.
so they all kind of have that certain look. And so, but people were like, but those don't represent me. Like, I don't look like that. Actually, no one really looks like
Mm-hmm.
that. But, so I was like, yeah, we don't look like that. Let's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
we need to expand out more and, bring some more people in. I want to make sure that I always am like, tell me what you want. I want to make sure that I can't always think of everything, but let me know if, so some people were telling me that I want to see, more of like curvy or plus size. And I was like, okay, I'm all for it. There's no
Absolutely.
pushback for me. I'm always like, yes, if you tell me you want something, I will make it happen.
Great.
Because I care that people feel good in their skin, and I just want everyone to feel like at least somebody recognizes them or sees them and it cares enough to make something for them. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's really commendable that you want to do that, especially with how diverse of a world we are, right? We have different abled bodies, we have transgender and trans
right,
women and cisgender, right? Like the
yeah,
gambit is as large as you want it to be. And it's
right,
important to have business owners like yourself who really are making a product and an experience for their customer and are really trying to listen to that. So I'm sure that there'll be lots of other collections on the horizon, I imagine, right?
yes. I mean, I'm always kind of going, always different ideas and things that I'm like, oh, should I do this? Or, I kind of want to push this
Mhm.
and try something else. So we're always kind of behind the scenes. I'm like sending things over. My illustrators are probably like, oh my goodness, this girl, she's driving
Yeah.
us crazy. Because I'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I have the greatest idea. Let's try this. They're like,
Mm,
okay.
awesome.
So yeah, I'm always sending over things to try to kind of try something different and something new.
Very cool. And you actually have a new product coming out, right? And is it next
Yes,
week?
yes. Next week we're coming out with our greeting cards. It was the same thing, honestly.
Mm.
I love cards, and I like going down the card aisle, and it was the same thing. I never saw any cards, even though that like cards might just have like an arm
Yeah.
or something holding something. But why couldn't there be an array of skin tones? Like why couldn't there be other people represented? I want to see some like brown arms and like I want to see that, you
Yeah.
know. And so it was just like the only line I can even think of is I think maybe the Hallmark like mahogany
Yeah, the
line that
mahogany
I've seen in stores,
collection.
but
Yeah.
that still wasn't as it's not like as trendy. Like I want something that's like more modern and a
Mm,
little hipper, more fun. And
absolutely.
so I said, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to make that too. you know,
Yeah.
I, I'm a problem solver. I'm like, okay, I don't see it. We're gonna figure this out and we're gonna make it.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. Okay, so can you describe like what we should expect from your greeting card collection then?
yeah, so we're okay. So we on the 15th we are gonna come out with it's kind of more of a soft launch of the cards,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be 4 like Christmas holiday themed cards
Mhm.
just to kind of like get them out there so people can see the artwork and just the quality. But we're right now we're doing all the illustrations and everything for the full line of cards that are going to come out at the beginning of next year. So it's
Mhm.
going to be, a lot of there's probably not going to be a lot of like faces on the cards and things like that. It's because I kind of want people when you send a card to someone, you kind of have a picture of them in your mind. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a lot of like maybe like where you kind of see like body with balloons, like that's one that I showed on Instagram recently, but you'll see all these body parts doing different things, to celebrate, kind of like you see on regular greeting cards, but they
Mhm.
will be an array of, women of color, of skin tones and things like that. So it's going to be very bright, very fun. It's not going to feel like dated or anything like that. I just like bright and fun. and
Fantastic. Yeah.
everything needs to be bright and fun. So
Yes, yes. I mean,
yeah.
I love, yeah, I love the designs. I could see them being in calendars. If you guys were interested in branching out and making dolls, like I could see, Oso paper really just like taking over because the artwork is impeccable. I think the message is very unifying and very uplifting, and it's really, really beautiful stuff. Awesome. So,
Yeah.
what are you like? How can people get in touch with you? Either from the design side, like are you looking for new artists to also like get in touch with you, and then also from the customer side, if people don't know about you, like where can they find you?
Well, they can find me obviously on my website, osopaper.com, like OHSO paper.com.
Yep.
Because some people think I'm saying Oso, like something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they can also email me at hello@osopaper.com.
Mm-hmm.
We currently aren't looking for any artists, but I am looking to branch out. I'd like to, I think, because we're still really new.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we've had a lot of success in such a short time, but we're not even a year old yet. But my
Yeah.
hope is that we can eventually get to that point where we can bring new artists and like feature them
Mm-hmm.
so that other people can learn about who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That would
Absolutely.
be something that I would really like to do next, especially
Yeah.
like women of color artists
Mm.
all over, and bring them in so they can kind of showcase their art. So that would be a nice next step of
Mhm.
something that I'd like to look at doing. But also, people can just email me, ask me questions. I'm really personable. I'm a nice
Yeah.
person. So,
Yeah.
if they just want to chit chat, I guess they can email me too. But yeah, hello@osopaper.com, and I'm also on Instagram, and it's
Mm-hmm.
at osopaperco on
Got
Instagram and on Facebook.
Gotcha. All right. And then I guess my last question is, given that, you've kind of you have this startup and it's been received so well, I guess, what would be your advice or tips that you have for other people who are like interested in entrepreneurship, but, they don't know, will they be able to ride the course out? What will be the response, when they start? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would have to say, I mean, it is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that
Mhm.
it's easy, because it's not. It's hard, but I think that you always have to kind of say to yourself, like, this isn't going to be always. This isn't going to
Mm.
last forever. Let me weather through this. And that was kind of something that I learned like in boot camp. Like,
Mhm.
it's not always going to be this intense and like
Mhm.
stressful. It's I just got to get kind of over the hump, and then you'll get into a groove of it,
Mm.
and it'll become more of a second nature, and you'll be like, okay, I mean, you'll still have hard days because it's life,
Mhm. Yeah.
but it will get better. But you have to also just be willing to say, okay, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to ride this wave, and go through it. So
Absolutely.
that's the biggest thing. And also just be willing to, I guess, be flexible.
Mm.
That's another one, is to be flexible, be able to take in critiques and advice, and to be flexible. Don't be so married to something like an idea that you just cannot get past it and you become stuck. Like, if I would have
Mm.
been stuck on being like, I'm gonna just do these notebooks, I will never do any, like, I'm going to do this notebook thing. I would have still been, notepads, I would have still been stuck there.
Mm.
And I wouldn't have expanded out and seen all the other things that I could possibly do. I
Yeah.
had to be willing to say, okay, this isn't working, but I can still be within this industry. I just need to figure out how I branch out, build kind of my base. And then I can always come back to this, because as I build up, my reputation, and people are like, oh, I like this that she puts out, and now I can come and put something else out, and they're like, oh yeah, but I like this kind of stuff that she does, so I'll probably like this too, because I know the quality and the things like that. So yeah, just be able to be flexible, and you have to
Mhm.
be flexible being an entrepreneur, because you don't know what will come your way.
Exactly. I love that advice. And I think change is inevitable for all people of all industries, but especially, yeah, when you're a business owner, you have to go, not just go where the wind goes, but really be open to the idea of do I like this, or is my customer liking this? Because who are you
Right.
selling to, right? Like,
Exactly.
because I think
Because I see it all the time where people are like, they're so stuck on that this is something that they are so in love with, but it's like people aren't buying this because they're not, you know, you either want to admire it yourself or you want to actually run a business and make money and move on, you
yeah.
know. So but yeah, I always say be flexible, be willing to pivot and change, grow and evolve. So,
Exactly. Okay. Phenomenal. And so definitely, if Oso Paper ever does any like in-person stuff, make sure you let me know if you come by New York, because I can't wait to get I can't wait to get my second order of stickers. And yeah, the greeting cards, I know they'll be amazing. And I can't imagine, sounds like 2018 is gonna be even more fantastic things. So yay.
yes.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for sharing your story and Oso Paper. And I just, again, thank you for caring about women of different backgrounds, of different shapes, of different skin colors. It really matters, and it's really a needed thing. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.